English Senior announced Mr. Deputy Speaker Sir, may I with your permission intervene and say a few words in regard to the various matters that have been discussed. My colleague the Finance Minister, who is in charge of this particular budget, will no doubt deal with the specific matters that have been raised in the course of this debate. Although this budget is the individual responsibility of the finance minister, it is also the responsibility of the entire government. As prime minister, I am entirely responsible for it as well as any other member of the government. This budget was placed before the House after the usual consideration by the government, and the letter is completely committed to it. That does not mean that we are not willing to consider any new proposals. We are certainly willing to do so, so long as the basic structure of the budget is not affected. My friend, the Honorable Professor Shah, pointed out various difficulties in the way of a debate here and in the way of a consideration of the budget proposals. He pointed out how little could be done in the allotted time. I am in complete agreement with him in this matter. If there are any practical proposals which would enable us to give more time for the consideration of these problems, either formally or informally, I am quite sure that the finance minister will gladly consider them. The real difficulty is, however, more basic, and it is this: the kind of problems which the government has to face now is so vast and intricate that it is impossible for any democratic parliamentary assembly to give enough time for its consideration. Assembly to give enough time for its consideration. It is just a question of time. This is not a new difficulty. I remember that long debates on this subject took place in a country like the United Kingdom, where they found that they could not get along with the old procedure of discussing everything in the House itself. So, even parliamentary procedure in the United Kingdom has gradually changed, and many matters are left more to the committees than to the House itself. Usually, a principle is decided by the House and its working out is left to committees. The House simply cannot find the time to consider everything. That is a difficulty inherent in the situation. If we can find a remedy for it, it will be good for us. We will also set an example to other democratically included countries who are seeking such remedies. In spite of the fact that Parliament is in continuous session, it is not able to find time to consider in detail all the important matters that come up. We have in fact much less time because we are not in continuous session. I suppose our sessions will inevitably become longer and longer, so as to enable us to deal with more and more problems and have more and more discussions. Anyhow, I have stated what the difficulty is at present, though I am in sympathy with what Professor Shah said. I have no easy remedy for that difficulty. We are prepared to consider any ideas or suggestions about how to give greater facilities for more intensive discussion of any great problem. An honorable member referred to the budget speech as being directly or indirectly a survey of all manner of problems in domestic, international, economic, foreign, etc. The House can hardly expect the Finance Minister's budget speech to be a survey of all these tremendous problems, although they have no doubt some bearing on the budget. As I listened to the honorable member who spoke just now, I was wondering whether we had the larger picture in mind or were getting lost in a few minor and secondary matters. Letter from Global Industries Private Limited, Chennai, to Messrs. Vinod and Company, Coimbatore. Dear Sirs, with reference to your letter regarding supply of 500 meters of electric wire, we are glad to inform you that a parcel containing the wire has been dispatched to you yesterday and hope you will receive the same in a day or two. Kindly acknowledge receipt of the above parcel. Generally, on receipt of the order, we supply the materials only after 2 weeks since you have requested us to send the material urgently. We have made our staff work even on holidays and taken efforts to deliver the material in 2 days. We have sent you good quality wire and believe that you will be very much satisfied with our service. We are also sending with this letter our invoice for rupees 5000 and request you kindly to settle this amount immediately by way of check or demand draft drawn in the name of our company. We would also take this opportunity to inform you that other electrical materials, if needed, can also be supplied immediately. We thank you for your kind cooperation and look forward for your further orders. Yours faithfully.